How are you gonna disrespect your mom like that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your job is
chill.
dangerous.
You would have to actually go to work.
And
Went to school, and still.
And paid rent?
Yes, I still worked.
That's your choice. You're
high. You're hungover.
You guys are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time.
I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
Okay. All right. So my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9-to-5.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's the thing is you're right. You get up every day, you go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up, you go, you flip some patties, maybe you sign a few envelopes, answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
when you're a
turns
mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of
Bullshit.
people critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought we
You guys
have.
got it made, man. I wish I had
We
it made
don't-
like y'all.
We don't have
I
to
wish.
sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
We
you
have
got
to
it
be,
gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the
the
next
shit I
idea?
go through every
Oh my
day,
God, I have
and
to
got
stream
dogs,
today.
And I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy, 24/7.
I wish I could be at home like you and get back and get paid big money.
We're not even at home. We're walking around.
Man,
We're walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do
things,
all of
going
that
to
because
parties, doing
the
all this
shit
stuff.
I got to slave just for not even 100,000 a year. I got to work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No, I'm not.
steady rate.
I don't work. I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Yeah, but you have a guaranteed pay.
Guaranteed pay if you work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't
Just
get paid
to
either.
collect.
You don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat spamming L's. Oh, this is bullshit. We don't like this video. We have to create content.
They don't understand what their home means. They don't understand what their home means.
Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F this not a fine shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
I get called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I can call fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat,
Well,
whatever.
That's your homeboys, though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's your
Yeah.
homeboy.
Yeah, and you right, homeboy, you right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing flags.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
So you raised your flag. Is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day, too.
We deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey Stugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Stugs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up and asking for a picture. You know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever.
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's gonna last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why
cook,
he gotta grind.
you have that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would you
Job.
do? If you lost completely all your YouTubers, you had nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually have to go to work. Oh my God, did I just cuss saying you?
That's a slur. If I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But no, he lost everybody. He lost everybody. He has no followers whatsoever. He would have to turn around.
You're proving my point.
You would have to
proving
turn
my
around.
point. You're proving my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all tomorrow.
Yeah, but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there.
You could be a private chef.
You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook.
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlight. Yo, Lacey, it's the truth.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go.
With Google Workspace, Calendar lets you share your latest availability so customers can book.
Find the 4 Loco can. I gotta make sure I get the 4 Loco can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you.
From 35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done
You
it?
get spoiled. You get spoiled, and your mama and daddy keep giving it to you.
I got a question for Rhonda. I got a question for Rhonda. Rhonda,
Yes.
have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30 days straight.
24/7.
Hours a day.
Day and night. No break.
We all streamed.
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
You know how
day
hard
were
it is
you a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a 3-minute ad?
You
When have you
clean
ever
up
ran? You
vomit,
never ran a 3-minute ad.
You pass trays. You short-handed.
Talk about the fake relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now
It's fake
think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person. We call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging you.
I got caught with my ex.
I got
in
caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you. And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what people think, social media, what they say about you.
That's our
job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh,
You're
brother.
short-handed.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
So you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yep.
My argument is that none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers, your
part of the
editors,
face team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
Well, that's bad takes.
Bad takes. It's bad takes. It's bad takes.
Go.
They wouldn't have any work if it wasn't for us, though.
I would even go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9 to 5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you know?
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months, I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a
Why
year.
is she laughing? Bro, she's making me mad. I actually feel like they're wrong.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
when you go to work every day, everyone's
so you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9 to 5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9 to 5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay? That's one aspect of it.
Working
right?
at Foot Locker, working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer, yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas, you have to stay relevant.
We're talking about ideas now. Okay,
yeah,
we're talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to start with though? But it doesn't make. But
well,
you're not even. You keep switching it. So why don't you answer my question?
I'm not switching anything.
You know, you 100% are.
Yeah.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
stuff
is
that
difficult.
you need creativity. You need to get out of your circle, comfort zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
much YouTube.
So it's the same thing.
Absolutely,
so the people that you're
yeah.
entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true. But you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
yeah,
is entertainment.
Entertainment
but
as
my
a
question
job
to you
doesn't have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you could sit here and think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that, I'm just using that because that's the best example, is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
in the sense of everyday activity. Because some
hard...
people around here said, oh, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with millions
when
of people.
You're creating that content and you have your phone, you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
So
and you're not
that's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, oh, we're not doing it anymore? You lose your job.
If the work is picking up a phone or turning on a camera as opposed to going in with a bunch of people and having to multitask, tasks you have to do throughout your shift and deal with your
Tasks you gotta do
coworkers
throughout
and
the stream.
interpersonal thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number of hours that you are talking.
Creators looking for an edge over the competition? Get 50% off and stand out.
And typing and sitting and eating and all that stuff that everybody's watching you do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like friendships, relationships, which is the most important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Sorry, bye. See you later.
Seeing a lot of flags.
What's your name?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. She's right. I'm not gonna lie. She's right. Hey, look good though. Hey, we good.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home, but if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect, and I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long
berated.
have you been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat, and I was very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other
So
opportunities.
you're just saying a lot of points.
There's no relaxation.
Just so I can answer a couple. So you were saying like to go back to the beginning, you were saying like you can manage like your time, like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home, like.
I fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would
So
have
I'll
been
give you
able
a
to do it
perfect
without.
example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money, and it slowly went super up, and then all of a sudden it went down. Right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off
was about to
completely.
k-
About to myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why are you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9-to-5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my, like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making
It was
more than my
serious,
rent.
yeah.
So I was losing.
You were in the red every
I
month.
was in the
I
red
got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
Whammy.
across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she laughing, bro.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that to a certain extent is privilege.
That's privilege.
It is.
But my mom. How's that privilege? Before you
It's
go
privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to
What is
take
that?
9
That's
to
a whole different
5s.
discussion. So a lot of people don't have houses.
A lot of
when they
people
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or accept
But that's a
them.
whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica and shared a trundle bed, so.
Okay, well, I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've definitely helped my family out in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place. So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
It's a great question. I don't know, because I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in the
knew
door.
that she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not
not.
secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings,
But
to have an audience. And even if you do lose all your followers one day,
Yeah.
even if
Let's
you
say I
lose,
lost it all tomorrow.
you still have residuals of your previous viral
But that's-
videos. Even if people are hating on
that's
you and
not
shitting on you,
necessarily-
that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of $1,000s.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to
So
school.
were we.
You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
Gabe.
Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good. So first of all, I want to say I do respect all of you for what you do. I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job.
You don't know that.
I mean, that I do know it for sure. It's very clear. People have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not a daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's a yearly thing, it's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful because if they do something weird, they say something weird to their coworker or their boss, they're gonna lose their job. If you lose some followers because of something you say, you'll get other followers. And you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession, there's not a lot of jobs, as could be now, they get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back? I mean, it happens all the time. Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing in on time 5 times.
Okay, but check it
you're
out.
done.
Okay, so listen, but to be able to get that loyal following of people that
do follow you,
Yes.
you need to build that over years
Okay.
and years and
Okay.
years and hours of
Okay.
trust
All right.
and communication
Sacrifice.
and intimate relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you.
Look, the thing
just fall into 1 million subscribers, 2
Of
million
course
subscribers,
not.
3 million
Of course
subscribers.
not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you, a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like, we're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental toll that it takes dealing with people and getting comments and this and that. That's what everybody deals with. But you don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time, no matter what. Anyone who has a 9 to 5 has to do that.
I said, what do you do?
Well, I'm a college professor, so I have to do that same
So
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
Come on, bro.
We have
You already know what you're doing.
We have to produce new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take
You know what I'm
years
saying?
to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
It started out playing Call of Duty trick-shotting. I
You were-
don't think
okay.
anybody in this room could hit a crane shot. I don't know if anyone in this room could quickscope.
I don't know if
So
that's
I had
something to be proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And then I had to do FaZe Clan, build FaZe Clan out, fix FaZe Clan, and then
Okay.
do streaming.
Okay.
So
And with how many people helping you?
How many people helping me?
Yeah. Come
on.
For which stages?
All of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
When I was
Was it just you? Like
No. It
Okay.
was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if
you
it
did
didn't
in the
exist,
freaking
if it didn't exist, you couldn't press
So the
play, you
fact-
couldn't press record,
So the fact that
and
you
then
have
just talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on, then
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
Right, but I
Yeah,
also
you
had to
have a
spend
campus to
years
teach.
earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just want to get paid to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
I'm Vicky, and my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
brother.
You guys just,
I know how to do a 3-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone.
know.
is
So
very different.
So wait.
Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around, get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all
Bet.
day. You never sit down.
I hear you, I
You're
hear you. I
breathing
built a
in,
house.
you're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen,
Your
just
job
chill,
isn't
chill.
dangerous.
So
your
thing
job
is-
isn't
your thing
physically
is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
bet, listen. So your whole
She
thing.
doesn't get fat.
Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not
No, no,
physical.
no, but-
I'm saying that
I
a
just-
9 to
y'all let
5
me talk for a
job where
second.
you physically have to do
So-
some hauling around stuff.
So
and
I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller
Talk to
and
him.
make a 200K montage.
Talk
You
to him.
can't.
Man.
No one here.
Come on, man.
None of you can.
Carry some, just
None of you
some
could
hair and makeup.
physically
And you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
It's
yes.
taking them 4 days to hit a trick shot. It's taking you 4 days to
wait.
hit a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have
Hours
to
a
do
day.
that.
And then your day is
Yes,
never
I
done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No, no.
all of the
Wait,
things
wait.
that you
Stop.
use?
No. Listen,
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You don't know
done.
about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my God.
Sample
Elgato?
resample. If I rendered my video in Vegas and I sent the editor the clips without disabling and resample,
Oh my God.
my montage is fucked.
You have
Your main underlining argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and
Yeah.
hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never, I would go as far
Okay,
as
so how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think.
How many
any of you
hours
guys
a
ever
day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long I
day,
needed
12
to.
hours a day
However
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
12 hours a day, every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 10-10. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God that he would be in the right spot, throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down. I gotta have my rotations.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zone.
Stick drip.
Stick drip.
Thing is, for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us or kill us.
I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing. That's happened recently.
I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because
decapitated
he quoted
him
his
when he
thoughts.
Yeah.
With Google Workspace, you can create a Gmail account with your own domain.
My name is Thelma. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children.
So
I have been an executive secretary, legal.
Very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. You know, because it's who you are. That we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers, and we interact and have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
Are you serious?
You have false energy because you're across the screen. You're not interacting with people like we do.
So what are we doing right now?
Interacting?
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
Wait, isn't she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me.
There's millions of people who watch the video who
Yes.
save lives every
Yes.
day. Probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out and to the clubs at night, staying out till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So you was
to
having
get-
fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
So, but I'm saying it's like you guys don't do the interaction. You don't touch people like this.
Okay, now.
What kind of shit's going on?
You go to the club, you get to put some shades on, and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that
drunk,
your choice?
You're high. You're
But is
hungover.
that
Just
your
get off
choice?
screen. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that your choice? You
What do you
chose that. You chose this
No,
life.
that's the thing. We can't. We
And
can't
that's what's
do what
happening
you do.
now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9-to-5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people's
mind. No, you are not.
Do you know how many bands we meet a day?
Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
Do you
because
watch
I think-
any entertainment?
Oh my
Of
God.
course I watch
So do you
entertainment.
ever,
I got kids.
wait,
I got grandkids.
Do you ever laugh? Do you ever laugh?
Of course I laugh.
So then they
We're
interact with
touching
you.
them.
But the interaction is
Did
not
it make you
real.
feel better?
When I'm watching
Wait, did it make you feel better?
What make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
have you ever been
it all
entertained?
depends- it
Have you
all
ever been
depends
entertained and
on
been like,
what's coming.
oh, I feel good?
Some of it is
I gotta
fake.
beg it right now.
Some of it is fake.
You see, you're not answering.
So now let me.
Okay, well let me answer your because I'm debating him.
Okay,
But go ahead.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now. Go
all
ahead.
right, come on.
So when you're entertained, have you ever felt like your day was better if you watched something? You've never felt like that?
Yeah, sure.
So what's the difference with us?
The difference with you is that you guys do this 24/7. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Do you know? You're just like you. Wait a minute. Somebody made a comment about, oh, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
So it's
You know what?
easier.
I'm a very social. I'm a very social person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
I'm saying what we do has not affected people. It's not real. How come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you
Or their
every
hands
single
shaking,
day.
their hands shaking.
Like you were my child. You know how like we grew up watching Disney Channel?
Yep.
I've had kids
Ben
come
10.
up hundreds of times throughout years of my life. Have kids come up to me and say these things. So
Okay.
I'm Robbie. I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh, that's not fair.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day.
Fir-
bro.
First thing I'm gonna say is nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard. because my aunt was. That is the
My
most
mom
difficult
was.
shit. How are you gonna disrespect your mom like
No,
that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect
She
your
loves
mom and
it.
say that your work is harder?
She tells
That
me
is
it's
so
easy.
rude,
Nigga,
honestly.
She works 2 of them.
Okay,
She works at 2 hospitals.
Let me ask you something.
She said it's mad easy. She can work at 2 hospitals.
No disrespect. No disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. That's what you just said. You won't watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has to get judged every
I gotta get
single
judged every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't get a job because I got tats. I used to work at Costco's. I had the greatest 401k granted to me. That means that when I retire, I get the biggest stipend of my life. Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, what, maybe 20 years I'm gonna be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
Okay. I didn't have to interact with nobody, just packing meat.
Yeah,
Will. Come on, bro.
Is what you do fun?
I mean,
Do you enjoy what you do?
if I make it fun,
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no? Is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do in a day?
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Not fun at all. Because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous, I'm not gonna lie. But
You're on his diesel.
okay, so look, right?
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that was sarcasm. You didn't read it. No, I'd like to. hear this.
No, listen to the time that I wake up. I wake up maybe 3, 4 p.m. Know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people. I gotta deal with thousands of them.
No,
Let him stay. You gonna stay for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking pot and waking up at 4.
Okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, you know, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure that my yeah.
He got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So,
Yeah.
you know.
This, you know what I'm saying?
See him.
I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, shave that little scruffy shit on your face.
Chops.
Cool.
So he got fat.
Now I have to game Marvel Rivals for probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I could just game it after work, bro.
No
I
energy.
can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we could just scroll
Guess
something
what?
around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m., I'm still probably thinking I gotta do something for stream. My mind is
Do you know what's crazy?
My mind is-
8, 9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work
He
today.
already did
I did my work today.
You took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
What?
Do I don't want to hog the space here too much, but no. Do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
Kill him.
No, I don't know this. I don't know.
Basically, you're talking yourself into a hole, man. Okay, my turn. I'll be brief.
Wait, yours. Give a man a rope.
What is he?
Wait,
It means-
is that racist?
Wow.
Get this racist
Play
out
that
of here.
card.
He has no social
All right,
cues.
all right.
Oh, you're back?
Babe, I want to say to you,
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay.
want to say.
Uh-huh.
You say you don't like people. It's all about relationships that you got with people. So when you say shit like that, do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said,
I'm an
you
introvert.
said,
I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
and that's okay. But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
I'm a superhero, no cape.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You look great. You look
That's
great.
right. I'm Thelma again.
I believe 9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck. No. I believe.
I think dreaming is so much harder. Why are you doing it?
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationships. I had a breakup with a girlfriend that I loved so dearly because I chose streaming.
So my question.
Nah, I loved her.
My question.
I loved her, and you're laughing.
My question again. My question. If you think it's so much harder, why are you doing it?
Because I'm passionate about it.
Okay, so you love it. You love streaming. So do you love it more than you loved that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide.
Oh.
I had to make sacrifice, and
So
that's
you-
what you have to do.
so you lost
with
the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a 9 to 5,
lost the human
if I was
touch
flipping burgers,
for-
I could have had a girlfriend still.
But you lost the human touch for the streaming.
Being a streamer, you have to be judged on thousands of people's opinions every single day. A 9 to 5 person, maybe one,
But,
2, 3.
okay, and then back to my point, is that your choice? Was that your choice?
But that's not the point, though. The point
No,
is
that's my point. That's my point.
streaming is harder
Was
than 9 to 5.
that,
That's the point.
you gave up your girlfriend for streaming. Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag. He
Yeah.
ran up a
I
bag.
ain't gonna lie,
You did it
I
for a
did-
bag.
But the thing is, it comes to a point. Do I pick love and a future with someone I care dearly for? Or do I pick
something that I
future
love?
for something that I'm passionate about and motion? I pick motion.
I'm Lala Costa.
Lala Costa? Yes. Amazing name.
Thank you. I'm an attorney.
She makes a percent off people's fuck ups. I like that.
If you had an opportunity to get a 9 to 5 that you could create yourself, like whatever you want,
Yes,
9
I
to
would.
5, you would take it?
Yes.
Because why?
Because I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
You don't? What? Come to this side.
No, but I have to because this is what I built my career off of.
You feel stuck.
I feel stuck, yeah.
Have you ever watched a show and you stopped watching it? Have you ever watched a show and you were like,
All the time.
it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to.
That
I
TV
have to-
show can't. It's done. What happens to all those actors?
It's
after that?
canceled
They gotta
because I
go to-
stopped watching?
Well, no. I'm saying if
Baby,
if thousands of you
Honey.
stop watching.
I think you guys are mixing all
Yeah,
the issues.
Cartoon Network. It's like
and
they
not
got millions of
focusing
people.
on-
You guys know what Cartoon Network is?
If your
It's
father would
gone.
stop, would you come up with a different brand then?
All those people are gone. Yeah, but pivot. That's the point.